this is Grunstar, and I am looking at the collab version of VCV Rack 2. Not that it's any special. VCV Rack 2 did actually come in basically they made a subscription thing, and it kind of irritated a lot of people, a lot of fear mongering, but it's been a while since I've used VCV Rack 2, and I kind of wanted to mess around with it, to be brutally honest. And so we're going to mess with the clap version. So because I want to do things. Now, one of the cool things about this is that basically there's a number of DAW channels that you can get out coming from VCV Rack, and probably in too. And that kind of helps with what I want to basically run around with. Right now, I am running with the 2.51. I probably should update it. I think there's new modules that came out, like compression and a couple other things that's since then. But overall, what I kind of want to do is click on the button over here and say add missing chains. And what this is going to do is it's going to allow me to channel or tunnel the output of VCV Rack through Bitwig, and I can process the channels individually with different effects and that kind of stuff and get a different sound. So that's kind of what we want to do. What I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of duplicate this. And so we have two of them. We have one that goes to 1 and 2, and then we got 3 and 4. So if I go to the input on this one, it's going to go out this channel. And if I go to the input on this one, it's going to go through this channel. And I'm going to kind of differentiate it by doing a couple of custom effects type things. One of the effects is probably going to be something like Valhalla Supermassive. Set this on one of my favorites. We're going to go with, maybe let's try Reverse Verblio. And then number 2, we're going to go in here. We're going to give it just a simple, I feel a heat source coming from somewhere. Let's try a delay. Have some fun with it. Yeah, ping pong lo-fi. Let's try that out. Okay, so we have 2 different effects going on for 2 different sources, or 2 different sources of VCV Rack. So now we got to actually do something. So now what I want to do is I kind of want to do a VCA. We want our amplitude being messed with. So we're going to duplicate those. And then I'm going to move these to different racks because kind of want to line this stuff up. So basically this channel, and this channel. So basically this is going to go right into here. And this is going to go right into there. So we got the 2 VCAs. Now this is going to control the volume or whatnot. And the way we control our volume is through ADSR, right? Whoops. So our ADSR is going to control our VCAs. Actually, I linked up the wrong channel. That's the controller. So now it's off, right? And we want to take the release down, this down, the attack down, so that we have it's instant attack. Okay, so now I just have to do the input. Now, what are we going to do with the input? We need a VCO, or an oscillator. So we need 2 oscillators. I'm going to duplicate the oscillators. And this should be relatively simple. We want kind of probably a sine wave to go to the input in here. We want the voltage for the oscillator here, and then we're going to hold down control, and then we're going to do the same thing over here. We're going to say we want probably a saw to go to the input. Okay, and then we need the gate from the source. So this is basically coming from the DAW or from the MIDI. And we're going to gate on our ADSR. We're going to go down here and throw a gate in the ADSR. All right, and then we test. That reverse verb, love it, from Valhalla. It's giving that sine wave something really cool and really spacey and hard to describe. Hard for me to describe at the moment. I really like it. So basically, we have two channels going on, and we can duplicate and do all 7 or 8 outputs, up to 16 channels of left and right, and then do that in VCV Rack, and then have it go out and process it individually. So we have kind of a conglomeration or a composite of type of sounds that you want. So we got the gate going into the gate of the ADSR, which the ADSR goes into the input here, and that's what's causing the VCA A for amplitude to shut it off. And so we can do a lot of things from here. We can do like mess with maybe say the FM. Normally, what happens is you mess with the FM with the VCO, and you can get. That Valhalla. Oof. So now we can get other types of stuff, like maybe say we want to add in a wavetable. And we need to do something similar, so let's copy or duplicate this one. Let's send it to the third, or yeah, to the 5.6. Obviously, copy this. Copy this. Environment this one. This one goes to the end, or to the end. Out goes to here. And then we need to hold down our control and take the 2 inputs. So we need the gate. And then we want a LFO to mess with the position. We want probably a triangle, and we want a little bit. There we go. There we go. We want to slow that down. Now, the difference between the VCO here and the LFO here is that the LFO is slower when it goes through its cycles than the VCO. The VCO much higher, 440 at least to get your C going on, as opposed to probably 100 cycles or even lower than that, 13 cycles, as opposed to 870 for what this is at. All right, let's grab something else. Let's make it... Actually, let's do the audio. We could do chorus on the third one. Maybe Bit Crush. I think it already sounds probably... let's do some chorus. Overall, kind of cool sounds. You can mess with it just like different tracks, so therefore you can reduce the amount of kind of like the amount of VCV rack that you have that you can use for, you know, like basically normally you would probably do one per track or something like that, but honestly, you can mess with it, have different tunnels that go off everywhere, and then be able to kind of manipulate and change the sounds depending on what you want, and add in more stuff to it overall. What the clap should allow you to do is it should allow you to mess with the incoming MIDI and or other things like MPE type of stuff. Now, I'm not playing with the MPE keyboard, so I can't do all the fun other stuff that the pitch per note or the other types of stuff that it should allow with the clap format to go into VCVRack. But if I did, you got stuff like velocity coming through and pitch wheel modulation and aftertouch if I had it. You can mess with the clock output or the divider output, so that therefore my tempo would adjust things if it wanted to, the start and stopping of the clock, or the continuous trigger output. There's a whole bunch of stuff that you can mess with on here. You can have it for different channels and then where it comes from. And then if I'm not mistaken, there's a way to set this as multi MPE friendly. Yeah, there we go. Polyphony channels, 16. So I can set up to 16 channels. So overall, cool stuff. Love playing around with this. Had billions of modules. I could just lose myself in trying to figure out what even modules to use because there's tons of them. I got a ton of them. Every now and then I like sitting here and messing around with them. These are really fun. Ooh, there we go. We'll bring in this one and we'll make it mess with this one. Input. So what this ice tray does is it's kind of like a granular delay of sorts. It tries to sample or record and then plays back. When you see it red, if I'm not mistaken, that's the recording or the taking in the input. And then when you see the green, it's playing back. That's really cool. This is kind of annoying. Overall, cool synthy stuff. Gotta love it. You can produce some really cool stuff with this. Not that not that Bitwig can't do much of it, or it can. This is kind of a neat little module that would be hard to kind of replicate. Not that difficult, but kind of hard. But overall, kind of cool stuff for VCVRack. Is it worth $30 a month? Possibly. And you'd get your money. The only problem is I think, realistically, I think I like the kilohertz type of subscription where the money kind of goes into, at the end of like maybe 2 years, you can buy your own phase plant type of thing with the money that you paid into the subscription. You actually get the software after a while. Oh, that's so cool. But with this one, you just pay the $30 and you get it, much like the Reason subscription, which, you know, obviously, if Reason had something like that, it'd be a heck of a lot better, since I put I well over what I should have got the base DAW by now, but oh well. Neither here, we're not talking about that. Overall, VCVRack's really cool, though, for the pro version. Really like it playing around with Bitwig. Anyway, hope you liked the video. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I will catch you later.